Hey there, happy day 2 of the Live Thrive Challenge. Sharon Horne-Ellstrom here, also known as Pajama Grandma, laying off the pajamas for this quick challenge. It's that important. Learning how to do a challenge, learning how to get a result for someone in days instead of years is the fastest, easiest way to build and grow your business, to accomplish the goals and the tasks and the objectives and the things that you want for yourself as well as for other people. One of the most rewarding things that we can ever do is actually help other people to get results. Because if we help other people to get results, they share that, they tell that. If you help somebody do something that they've wanted to do for a long time, they're not going to keep quiet about it. They're going to tell other people, and you're going to find that you have this amazing word of mouth business. You have people coming to you instead of you having to track down or advertise or chase down people that you want to do business with. You'll have them coming to you. There's nothing more powerful than that. I found that I've switched from the offline brick and mortar world to the online world, and it's interesting because I learned this lesson in the brick and mortar world, the world of hardcore traditional manufacturing businesses. Had an Italian food manufacturing business for about 35 years and shut it down as part of my divorce, which was sad but not sad. It was time for me to do something different. In addition to the other things I was doing, but it was definitely time from a health and all other standpoint for me to actually do something different. Now, I've got people begging me to start it up again, and I might do that in some different format, but not the way I was doing it before. And I learned in that business that it was awesome to turn people away and to have customers coming to you, have a product or service so amazing that you didn't have to advertise. In 35 years in that business, we did almost no advertising. I mean, compared to the business income versus the amount that we spent on promotion and advertising, and mostly it was word of mouth, was virtually zero. I mean, yeah, we spent some things, we did do some events, we did sponsor some things, we donated things, we were part of the community, but for the most part, never did any advertising. Maybe an ad in the church bulletin here and there, a little bit in the newspaper, but not regularly. It was very, very minimal. And we were able to do that because we had great products, we had great services, we had great customer service. People knew what to expect and knew what they would get from us. And so instead of us having to chase them down, they actually came to our business and actually begged us to do business with them. I still get messages and Facebook posts and things every single week, and that business has been closed down for almost 5 years now, over 4 years, almost 5 years, 4.5 years. So that is the kind of thing that you can do when you decide to serve people better than you imagine possible, and when you start attracting them to you, and when you help people get a result, that automatically they want to reciprocate that. They want to do business with you. They want to be connected with you. And we're going to talk about those reasons why today. But first, I promised in the headline the surefire way to fail with your challenge. The absolute positive, guaranteed way, unless you're just super duper lucky and you happen to, I don't know, win the lottery of challenges. If you don't do this first, you will fail with your challenge, or you won't have as much success with it as you want. And what is that? Well, it's really simple. Not only number one, what we discussed yesterday, what's in it for you? Why do you want to do a challenge? What's your intent and purpose? Why do you want to do it? Because if you don't know why you want to do it, you shouldn't be doing it, right? Well, this next thing, today's lesson, is as important, maybe not quite as important, but pretty darn close to as important. And what is that? It's identifying who your challenge is for. If you don't know who your challenge is for, it's for nobody. It's like hopping in your car, wanting to go to somewhere, but don't care where you go. Having a GPS is worthless because you will go wherever the wind takes you. You will just keep driving. Well, will you reach your destination? How do you know? You have no way of knowing because you don't know where you're going, right? And so all of the fancy equipment in the world won't do you any good unless you know where you're going, who you're serving. So who do you want to do this challenge for? If you're doing it for yourself, that's really easy, right? That's the easiest thing. When I set out to do my blood pressure challenge at the end of last year, my 90-day challenge, it was easy. I was actually doing that for me. And so I was my ideal customer. I was the person that I was trying to serve. I was the person that knew the result that I wanted. So it was really, really easy to map out the strategy and map out the challenge for that. Now, if you don't know who you're doing a challenge for, or the reason why you're doing a challenge, your chance of successfully pulling it off are slim to none. The challenges where, and I've got a friend who told me that she's done challenges before, she's done all these challenges, and some she's gotten results from, and some she didn't get the results that she expected from them. I will tell you, the first time I personally went through the One Funnel Away challenge from ClickFunnels, I made it through the challenge, but I was really surprised to learn, and I actually did a video about the lessons and the things I learned going through that challenge the first time. I took a group through that challenge with me the first time, and I did a great big package and all kinds of bonuses because they launched that with a book of people, and then they added that with 30 days. So I added my own 30-day challenges as part of that. And in addition to that, about growing and building and supersizing your business. If anyone's interested in that, hit me up in the comments below. But some of the things that surprised me as I personally went through that challenge were the parts of the challenge that I thought I would ace and I would just swim right through were the ones that I actually got behind in the challenge and I had to run to catch up. And then the ones that I thought would be super hard for me and I would really struggle with, I breezed right through. So I think that we can learn a lot about ourselves when we're doing challenges. But we have to decide who is the challenge for. The One Funnel Away challenge is specifically for people that want to use ClickFunnels software and ClickFunnels and marketing to launch the online component of their business, right? My blood pressure challenge was specifically for me and other people that join me who wanted to reduce their blood pressure. Now, I tweaked it so that it could be for people that wanted to achieve other goals through a 90-day push or a 90-day period. But for the most part, I was the target audience for that. I knew what I wanted. I mapped out that and then taught the strategy of how to do a challenge in addition to doing the challenge myself to get a specific result. And it turns out I did actually achieve that result. I thought at the last day that I didn't, because I didn't have a way to measure my blood pressure, but it turns out I got the flu after that, and everyone else's blood pressure was going way up with this flu, and mine was actually down below what I had set for my goal during that 90-day challenge. So you never know. But you have to have not only the end in mind, the result that you want to get for people, but you need to know who it is that you want to get a result for. Why? Why is that important? Because you need to know who they are, what their biggest challenges and problems are, so you can brainstorm and you can come up with an idea and a result that isn't so huge that they're probably not going to do it, because you want to get them a quick win. You want to plan your topic and your challenge and the result you're going to get them in what's possible for the time frame that you're doing your challenge for. So if I'm doing a 5-day challenge, it's completely possible for me to teach a coach or a service provider or someone how to get 5 new clients in 5 days. That's totally doable, total results doable challenge. Now for people that have been struggling to even get their first client or to get a client a month or a client every 6 months, they're going to see 5 clients in 5 days and they're going to think, oh my God, that's impossible. But they're going to be attracted to that because they're like, I need clients for my agency or my service industry or for my business. I need to hop on board with that. Now, you're not looking for people that usually in a challenge like that have never done anything, haven't even got an idea, haven't even started a business. They have already at least taken the leap of faith, jumped into and decided, I am going to do this service business. I'm going to be a coach. I'm going to be a consultant. I'm going to have an agency. I'm going to do this thing for other people. I'm going to create marketing funnels for other people. I'm going to do people's books if I'm an accountant. They at least have an idea of that. So they're not still toying with the idea of, do I even want to have a side hustle? Do I even want to have my own business? They've already said, yes, I want to have my own business. Well, now I want to have my own business. What does every business on the planet need, right? Every business, everyone that's in business needs customers. We got to have customers. I actually did a survey. Last year I did a women's summit, a 30-day women's summit, and I did a survey of business women, and because I suspected, but I wanted to prove and find out through research that it wasn't just my thought that the number one topic and the number one concern of female business owners, just like men, by the way, is that they want more customers. They want customers coming to them. We all want customers coming to us. And that, of course, ended up being the number one thing. And then we followed up and did a women's summit, a well, how many days was it? 3 days or 4 days? I don't even remember now. It's been so long. We did like a 3-day or 4-day summit, and then we followed that up with a 30-day, called it customer handling or customer catching challenge, because we learned how to attract customers to us and then what to do with them throughout the life of the relationship, and to build the relationship to make sure that you're putting systems in place and that they have an awesome experience and they become lifelong customers, not just one-hit wonders where they do business with you once and then you never see them again. Some businesses are structured and they want that kind of a relationship, but the people that we were targeting with the Women's Summit and the Women's the Supersize Your Business Customer Handling Challenge was people that want to create relationships and have repeat business and things like that for their business. So we were honing in on the target, not just all business women, not just MLM people, not just sales people, but people that actually have a business and want to create customer relationships and customer experience that creates lifelong customers. So the clearer you can be on who your ideal customer is, the clearer you can be on who it is you serve, the better it is for you to understand what are their current problems, what is their current situation, what are their challenges, and then it becomes easy to say, well, I can fix that problem, I can fix that problem in 5 days. I got to the point where in business and in consulting, I can talk to somebody for probably 20 minutes to half an hour, and within that period of time, I can identify what is the number one thing that's holding them back, and I can give them a handful to 20 or to a, so there's probably a piece in there where I'm cut off or I'm not saying anything. So number one, before we even get started today, we want to know who it is that we are making our challenge for. Who is our challenge for? And again, like I said, if it's for yourself, it's super easy. You're the target audience. If you pick someone who is like you or someone you've been in the past as a target audience, you have a better insight into what kind of a challenge would be most appealing to them. I've participated in so many different challenges and done so many different challenges, but I always, either I was in the target audience or I knew people that were, so that I could find out what were their biggest problems, what are their biggest challenges, what nagging problem, and maybe it wasn't the biggest, but what problem was just in their crawling, driving them crazy, like a lion with a thorn in its paw. What is that? What was keeping them up at night? And what did I know how to do that I could show them how to do in a finite period of time so that they were guaranteed to get results? If they did what I showed them and did what I told them every day for that period of time, I guarantee that they will get the result that they want. They will solve that problem. They will achieve that goal or objective. They will get what they want. Now, here's the rub. Let's be honest. The challenge isn't with getting people to start the challenge. The challenge is to actually get people to be engaged and participate and actually do the homework, do the challenge, do the little action steps. And that's why I've learned as I've done my challenges to chunk it down to smaller and smaller pieces, to pick a big, not a big problem, but a problem that can be handled successfully without people having to commit massive quantities of time. Because as we'll talk about in a couple of days, one of the biggest objections to people doing challenges, to people doing anything, taking action or doing anything, is they don't have the time. It's usually not about the money, because I generally do free challenges, but it's about, I don't care if it's free. I don't care if it's good. And there's the whole discussion about, well, free means it's not of any value, which is complete and utter nonsense these days. But the time is always the biggest thing. So a lot of my challenges, I'm not doing so well on this one, are 10 minutes or less. And I challenge myself to provide the content and the assignment or the thing that you need to do today in 10 minutes or less, meaning you can consume what I'm sharing with you in 10 minutes. Now, it doesn't mean you might not have to go do, depending on where you are with respect to the challenge that we're doing, you might have to go and do maybe an hour of research or so. But I try to keep it and break it down into bite-sized pieces. Unlike a lot of challenges aren't like that. I mean, the One Funnel Away challenge, to be honest, people don't tell you, but if you don't have 2 or 3 hours a day for that 30-day period to devote to the One Funnel Away challenge, you're not going to get through it. You're not going to get done with it. You're not even going to be able to listen to all of and consume the content that is associated with that challenge, much less do the assignments and do the homework. And I personally believe it's structured purposefully. I believe it's structured that way on purpose so that people will take the challenge over and over and over again. I've been through it personally 4 times, and I'm a certified partner for ClickFunnels. So and I have reasons for that. I take people through it with me, but if I've been through it 4 times, and I'm telling you, it's 2 to 3 hours a day just to consume the recordings and the content and the coaching and things and getting your questions answered. And on top of that, you need to have time to do the assignments. Some of the assignments, like I said, you can fly right through. Others are going to take you some time. Even if you delegate and do the who instead of the how, you're still going to find that it takes a lot of time. So I purposely set my challenges up, and I encourage you to do it too, your first couple of challenges, so that people can easily and happily complete the day's challenge each day. All right, so what are we going to really talk about today? Let's get to that now that I've spent 10 minutes or so talking about, the huge mistake you're making if you don't narrow down your who. And it's sort of counterintuitive, because I know in the offline world and in corporate America, I work for really big corporations, so their mindset was our products and services are for everyone. I work for big personal care product companies like Procter & Gamble, and I work with Gillette. I work with the world's largest deodorant label manufacturer. So not everybody wears deodorant, but a whole lot of people in the world wear deodorant, right? And so making labels for that industry, for personal care industry, a lot of people did need our products and services, right? Personal care companies, for the most part, were, but that's still a niche. Personal care manufacturing companies is a pretty tight niche, right? And so we need to identify who our ideal customers are. Who do we love to work with? Who do we want to work with? And what are their problems? What are their challenges? What keeps them awake at night? And what is something in some area we can get them a concrete, amazing result in a finite period of time. We're doing a 5-day challenge here. So in 5 days, I'm showing you exactly how you can create your own challenge for yourself or for other people and attract to you the results and the people that you want to interact with, the people you want to influence. Again, there's a lot of them. Get more customers, get more emails, get more likes and favorites and influence online. A lot of those shorter challenges are those. A lot of health challenges, tons of health challenges out there, right? Lady Boss just launched a 7-day challenge, a 7-day swap challenge, which is a brilliant idea, by the way. I love that. I haven't done hers yet. I've been too busy this new year to do it, but I'm going to do it sometime this year because I'm curious. And I know that she's doing it over, I say she, but it's her company, she and Brandon Poole, and they're doing it over and over and over again. I am wanting to talk about what we're talking about today. So now, yesterday we talked about what's in it for you. Why the heck do you want to do a challenge? What's attracting you to a challenge, and why do you want to do it? Today we're going to talk about, now that we've identified that you have to know who it is that you're doing challenge for, what's in it for them to do a challenge with you. WIIFT, I call it, or PC, perfect customer, perfect client, perfect candidate, whatever. What is in it for the people that will do your challenge with you, for them to do a challenge with you? And I'm going to cheat again, use my magnifying glass, and look at my handy dandy list, because I've got, I think, 10, 14 things. And there's a little bit of repetition there, but I want to make sure I hit on all of them for you. So first off, what is the number one reason they should and would want to do a challenge with you? Well, to get a result, to get the result they want, to solve a problem that they have, to get a result that they need to help in their life or their business or their health or whatever, but to get a result, and to get a result in a defined period of time. They know that they are going to get step-by-step instructions, and that actually if they do the challenge, they're guaranteed to get the result that you're promising them, because you're promising them that in 5 days, 10 days, 20 days, 60 days, 30 days, 90 days, 365 days, they'll get this result. And most people struggle with the consistency and the motivation to do things and to know what to do next. And they don't understand necessarily the process and that they need to go through to solve the problem. If they did, they would have already solved the problem. They would have already gotten the result that they want, that you're promising them with your challenge. So they need you to lead them through the process, step by step, day by day, hold them by the hand, and take them from where they are now to the result that they want to get. It helps to show them that they're not alone. so many times we think that we're the only ones with a problem, and it proves to them as they're doing the challenge with other people and with you, even if it's just you and a friend doing a challenge together, you're still supporting and helping one another, and it shows and proves that, hey, I'm not the only one that feels this way, I'm not the only one doing this. And that's really important when it comes to helping with our mindset, helping us to continue, helping us to go for things when they get a little bit hard, right? The reason we don't do things, the reason we don't have the results that we say we want is because we're afraid, because things feel hard or they feel challenging. They want to, and they get the opportunity to prove to themselves that they actually can get the result that they're saying that they want. They actually can do it. Because I don't know about you, but a lot of us in our life around us, we have a lot of naysayers. I have some amazing supportive people in my life, and I have some people in my family that I love and care about that have no clue what I do, why I do it, and they cannot stand that I am pajama grandma. It just drives them nuts because they don't get it. And that's okay. They're not my target audience, right? So it doesn't matter. But a lot of us are not having a strong support system. We haven't built a network up. We don't have a team of people that support us, or they don't have a team of people that support them. And so it's really important for them to get some quick wins and prove to themselves that they are moving in the right direction, that they can succeed, that there is help out there, that there's other people going through the same exact things that they're experiencing as well. It gives them a quick win, a really quick win. I don't know about you, but part of the reason I take fast action is I want to find out right away if I'm going in the right direction or not. So I'll think of something, I'll decide I'm going to do it, and I will immediately take an action toward it. Now, does my immediate action always work? I would say 80% of the time, my first immediate action is not successful. It doesn't actually support my hypothesis of what it is that I want to do, which is, sounds like a ridiculous failure rate, but it's not, because it's just a stepping stone to me of what I'm going to learn. But the times that I do take that first action and I get a quick win, it just lights a fire under me like nothing else. It shows me that, yeah, this is cool. I'm heading in the right direction. I can do this. And we just need those wins along the way. So many people, especially when they're doing their own business and being entrepreneurs, they strike out on their own, and you're on your own. One of the biggest things I missed when I finally made the jump and left corporate America for good was the automatic access to team members and resources in terms of people and knowledge and wisdom in different functions and different areas. I missed that more than anything else. I missed the relationships. I missed the day-to-day camaraderie of interacting with other human beings on a regular basis just as part of my job. And we want to be there for people in our challenges. We want them to know that they're not alone, that they can mastermind and find other people that are on a similar journey to them. And giving them quick wins helps to keep them motivated to continue to move forward on whatever it is that they're trying to achieve, so they can get their goals and dreams just like we're trying to get our goals and dreams. It's really interesting. I raised two kids, a boy and a girl, and I used to joke that my daughter is awesome between noon and 8 p.m. And she really still is. She's awesome all the time. Between noon and 8 p.m., she's awesome. Outside that time zone, you're never really sure what you're going to get. And I learned when I was younger that the hardest thing, and I have chronic pain, so keep that in mind when I say that, the hardest thing that any of us ever has to do, the really hardest thing, is get out of bed in the morning. Get out of bed and take it, and it's because we have to go from the total dead stop inertia to moving. And that going from stop to sorry about that, I got a call. The hardest thing we'll ever have to do is actually get physically out of bed in the morning. Now, for some of us, I was bedridden for 3 years, and so literally getting out of bed is really, really hard for me. And once I actually get out of bed and get moving, it hurts a lot at first, but then the day as I get moving, it gets better and it gets better. And it's the same with anything that we have to do. So if we can get a quick win, if we can get moving and take some action, all of a sudden we start to get momentum, and we'll have littler challenges and obstacles along the way, but we won't let them totally deter us or make us want to quit. So it's important to help get people some quick wins, what it is that you prove to others, you prove to the naysayers, you prove to the people around you that you actually are making progress, you are doing things. It's really interesting. People don't support you until you get rich. And then when you're rich, everybody's like acting like they've been with you all along. But it's a really interesting phenomenon. You get to be a positive example for other people. The people that participate in your challenge, when they do it and they actually succeed with it, number one, it increases their self-esteem and their status and their confidence and their belief in themselves that they can do things. But also, they're an example and an inspiration for other people that do the challenge, other people that might want to change something else in their life that's totally unrelated to the challenge they did, but they look at you and they say, oh, well, Jesus, if she can do it, then I can certainly do it, right? And so you motivate and you inspire people that you don't even know that you inspire. You can increase your status, and you can prove that things are possible, and people can see things as possible that they once thought were impossible. It actually helps us change our limiting beliefs, because really there's nothing we can't be, do, and have if we believe it. The problem is most of us don't believe it. Most of us are so locked in to negative cycles of thinking. I listened to a Mel Robbins tape yesterday her YouTube video about that yesterday, and it turns out she had done a month-long challenge a year ago about, what is it about? Mindset and changing your mindset about things. And the only reason I found it is because I joined, like almost when it was over, her challenge this January that is, your best decade ever. And it's all about dreaming bigger. And so it's really interesting. But there's an example of somebody that does free challenges, like I do. So it creates pressure, and it actually creates positive pressure and eustress when people see other people posting their assignments and actually participating. It actually causes motivation and encouragement for other people to share their assignments and participate. I signed up for a challenge, one of the very first challenges of someone else's I did. I signed up with a pretty famous guy, and there were a lot of us in the challenge, but it turns out it was to do a live video, and I was scared, and I wanted to make myself do a live video. So I actually, day one, did the challenge. I did the live video and posted it in the group. Well, nobody else, hundreds of people, nobody else actually did a video and posted it in the group. So the leader of this challenge, he is on there ranting and raving and saying, oh my God, good job, Sharon, way to go. And I'm like, oh, great. Because, I was like everybody else. I was thinking I'd do it for a day or two and then I'd probably quit. Well, after that, there was positive pressure. There was no way I wasn't going to do the assignment every day throughout that challenge. And so I did, and that kind of became my rallying cry that if I'm going to do a challenge, I'm going to participate in it, and I'm going to do the homework, and I'm going to do the assignments, and I'm going to go all in and get the result like everybody else wants, but they want it until it gets hard, or they want it until they forget about it and get a day behind, or they want it until something comes up. So it actually causes this positive peer pressure that gets other people to participate. And you have to make sure, as the leader of the challenge, you're letting people know, hey, it's okay if you get behind. Every challenge I've ever been in, I think, as far as social media goes and people posting assignments and things, you'll see people come in the 4th or 5th day of a challenge. I've done that. I haven't heard about a challenge until it was almost over. I'll come in on day 4 and I'll do 4 days worth of homework, and then on day 5 finish with everybody else. You'll see that all the time. And to me, that's really motivating to know that I can come in, and if it's something that I'm really interested in, I can knock it out in a day versus having to spend 5 days. Because the truth is, we can have anything we want almost instantly as soon as we decide we want it and commit to it and go for it, and then just do the steps and do what has to be done to make it happen. It's usually limited by our beliefs. So it creates eustress and pressure when we share our assignments. And actually, the participants serve as tools to motivate other people and share their stories and share their lessons learned. Because for every person that doesn't say anything, there's usually dozens of people with the same challenge, the same concern, the same fear, the same reason that they haven't done the homework, or the same whatever. And by somebody sharing, hey, this is what I was struggling with, this is what I believed, but here I did it anyway, it totally takes that excuse away from other people for why they're not doing something, or why they're not participating, or why they believe something. your challenge makes it easy for people to commit to the time that's required to do the challenge. Mainly because you want to let them know, and you let them know up front how much time it's going to take. Because I was discussing, I've been involved in challenges, excuse me, I got a total tickle, where you needed hours a day to actually do what they're saying that you're going to need to do to get the result that they're promising. And then there's others that you say, hey, you're going to have a 10-minute video, you're going to have an assignment you can do in 3 to 5 minutes, and you're going to have, if you want to, an optional exercise or research or challenge or something else in addition, a bonus thing that you can do if you want to get more out of this particular lesson. And you set that all up front for people. The other thing I love about challenges is you get to actually get the result while you're learning. Have you ever taken a course? Have you ever gone to an event and taken books and books of notes? Yes. And left that event or taken a course, gone through the whole course, and then at the end said, okay, I'm going to do this now. And then never done anything with it. When I was younger, I did that. I went to a ton of things. I was always feeding my brain a bunch of stuff, going to events, going to courses and seminars and taking advanced studies and things. And what I didn't do is, as I was learning, I didn't apply what I was learning. And so it's like you read a book, you read a good book, and you don't take notes, you just read the whole book, and then you think you're gonna do something with it at the end. I don't read books like that anymore either. As I'm reading a book, when I can read a book, I don't really read, I listen nowadays, I would take notes. Every book that I own, if you looked at, and I don't have books sitting here, if you look at my books, every book I own has writing in the margins, has notes, has highlighter, has colors, has things, because I'm learning, and then I'm actually applying the things that I'm learning as I learn them, as I read, as I consume. And the thing about challenges is it makes that automatic, because you're not only learning something every day of the challenge, you're actually applying and at least sharing, well, what does that mean to you? What did you learn from that? You had this lesson today. Can you think of examples of that in your life? How does that apply to you? Or how can you apply that to your life, your job, your relationship, your health, your situation, whatever it is that you're trying to achieve? So I love the whole learning by doing. There's this thing in online marketing that I didn't really experience in the offline world, but it's like you get into these learning loops where you decide you're going to do something, and then you think that you have to learn how to do it, and then once you learn how to do that, it leads you to all these different things that you think you have to learn. But if you're not applying what you're learning along the way, and you're just learning for the sake of learning, you get stuck in these shiny object syndrome and learning loops, and you end up not ever accomplishing what it is that you wanted to accomplish. I spent like a year and a half, maybe going on 2 years in like learning loops, and I feel really bad because I got sucked into that funnel or tunnel of just learning, and I would apply a few things along the way, but then I'd find something else that I thought I had to learn, and I'd learn that, and then I'd apply that, and then I'd find out that there was something else new, and I wasn't getting the results that I wanted because I was spending too much time learning. Now I switched that up, and now instead of learning for the sake of learning, reading for the sake of reading, I only study, research, look into what's the next thing. What's the next thing I need to do to move me toward the goal and the objective that I'm working on right now? And then that's what I learn about. That's what I read about. That's what I study. That's the events I go to. That's the people I form relationships with. That's what I do. It's just, what is the next thing? So I'm not worried about what are the next 100 steps I need to get to my goal. It's what's the next thing. Okay, here's the next thing. And then I've learned to ask, do I really need to learn how to do this? Or can I find someone who's already doing it super successfully and have them do it for me, do it for my business, do it for me? The who, not the how. That's a really, really powerful lesson. Maybe we'll talk about that in a couple of days. Just checking my notes to see if I missed anything. So today's action item, what I want you to do is number one, first share who is your target audience. Who are you going for? Who are you wanting to create this challenge for? And then secondly, kind of like we did yesterday for ourselves, after you've identified your who, what is a problem that you can solve for them? What is a challenge you can do for them? Let's talk about it. Let's share those. Let's give each other feedback on our idea for a challenge.
And then somebody might chime in and say, hey, I've done that challenge for that group of people. It was a total wash. They didn't really want it. They didn't really want to do it. Or this is what I learned when I did that, and how you might want to tweak yours to make sure that you get better results than I did. Or, hey, I did that. I got amazing results. Go for it. Because chances are we're not working for or toward the same audience. Because who can relate to me isn't going to be who relates to anybody else that's listening to this. We all have different people that want to follow us and want to listen to us and see us as somebody that can help them to get what they want. So that's it. That's your assignment. I'll put a card up in the group, or I'll put a post up in the group where you can put your assignment underneath it. Super simple. Who do you serve? Who's your challenge for? It's not even who you serve. It's who do you want to do this challenge for? And then what's in it for them? Why should they want to do this challenge with you? And maybe it's just as simple as sharing, hey, I want to do a challenge for accountants or for small business owners who need accountants, and I'm going to do a challenge that says find your accountant, or get an accountant, find your new accountant, or find your new team member in the next 5 days. To do a 5-day challenge to find your VA, to find your next Dream 100 partner, whatever. You could be whatever you want, but maybe that's it. So who are you doing your challenge for? What's in it for them? And what result are you going to get them? That's it. Have an awesome day. Thanks for joining me. I'm going to return phone calls. And if you have any questions, share them in the comments below, because we're going to do a Q&A. Otherwise, I will see you here tomorrow with the next very important step in our challenge process. Take care.